C. Two guys who ask, wonder what they're doing in T-Town right now? Not this. It's South Alabama's #1 podcast, Drive Time with DJ and KJ.
Good Monday morning. Welcome to Drive Time, the best, worst show ever. Good morning, Hot Rod. Let's see what else we have in here. Miss James in. Good morning to you, Miss James.
Good morning, Mother.
Alan Howard's in. Good morning, sir. Johnny Sims, good morning to you. Wanda Green, good morning. John Blair, good morning, sir. Timmy Wiggins is in. Good morning. Jesse James. Good morning, Jesse James.
Good morning, Jessica.
Karen Peters, good morning to you. Tracy Miller, good morning. There he is, Chef Adam. Good morning to you, Chef. Latanya Fountain. Good morning, Latanya Fountain. Good Monday morning. Yes, it is. Sandy Towns is in. Good morning to you, Miss Sandy. Cheyenne, good morning. Weeze is in. Good morning, Weeze.
Morning, Weeze.
Kathy Tolan, good morning. Morning, Lee Jordan.
Leroy.
Weeze had a little trouble in the Alabama River this weekend.
Yeah, it seemed like I saw a post about that. I wonder how many monkeys they saw up there on the river.
You know, when you're on a slow float at sunset, I think that's when they start moving.
30, I think it was 37 miles from White Oak Creek. That's a long way.
No trouble.
On the water. The minnow went down.
We had Buck with him, so he's fine.
Oh man. How was your vacay? If you now that you're back and got to get back to the real world.
I'll tell you, man, being nine days away from work is great. And I woke up this morning and was like, dang. Gosh, God.
Yeah, it's a chore, isn't it? When you have to start thinking about all the things you haven't had to think about for the last several weeks.
It was a nice break, but
or last week, let me say that.
Get back into it and get a little more normal routine going, I guess.
Yeah, well, hey, it's a new week. I tell you this, you got rained on a little bit while you were off. We had some pretty good rain about 3 or 4 days last week.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this, I don't know about you, but it seemed like it was a little bit cooler out there this morning than it has been. Or maybe that's just me wishful thinking.
Well, I don't know if I'd use cooler, but it was definitely not, the humidity level is not what it has been in recent days anyway.
No doubt. Let's see here. Let's see. Good morning, Kathy Tolan. I think you'll see Miss Carol. Good morning to you. PGP. Good morning. Lori Duke Woodard. Good morning, Lori. Wendy Williamson. Cody Fowler. Melanie French. Good morning. Tracy Steele. Good morning to you, Tracy. So you, I don't guess you made it to the second sandbar then. I mean, it seemed like it was I can tell you on the coast, it was a wet weekend.
Well, the second sandbar is kind of a mobile place, if you will. It can be in a lot of different areas, and I made it there a time or two, and some of the times it was on my couch.
That's some of the best times at the second sandbar, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, for real, so can't be mad about that. I know this. I know that, we've been kind of keeping up with the numbers here in Escambia County and all that kind of stuff, and it seemed like the last couple of days we kind of had a little slide in cases.
What are we at? Like 850?
I think that's close. Yes. Let's see. The ADPH updates it every morning at 10 a.m. But as of yesterday, through yesterday, we are at 812 confirmed cases, 4,763 tested.
Okay.
And so, I mean, I don't know because I don't see the trend or what have you, but I'm interested to see what happens today. My hope is that things keep going the way they're going. Good morning, King Kane. Steve Layton. Good morning, Steve. Feels much better at Jennings Park. You can actually breathe. Yeah, I think it's maybe what it is. The humidity is not as bad. Lisa Hart. Good morning, Lisa. Sister. Good morning, Whitney.
Morning, sister.
Morning, Earl Crook. We was just talking about, before we went on, about that walk-off home run that old Brent decided to jam out on our Tigers.
2002 walk-off.
Yeah.
Do it.
Now, DJ, DJ said that the pitcher just shouldn't even have been playing the game.
He'd had a rough year. He had a rough year up until that point. Brent made it a little rougher.
Yeah, things got a little bit more rough for him once Brent come up to the plate.
No doubter.
It did seem like that way.
No doubter.
But at least we all know exactly where Townsend gets that swing from. You know, and I mean, unless Whitney can swing a bat like that, and maybe she can, I just don't know it. I know she could twirl a baton. I haven't seen Townsend with a baton in his hand.
He knows what to do with the bat.
But he knows what to do with a baseball bat. That's for sure. So I think we kind of started to see where he got that swing from.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt. But that was on that actually. Whitney sent me that came from the Instagram account of SEC Baseball. They had, I guess, featured it or just what have you, you know. And I've got a feeling, and I hate to say this, but I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of people out there watching a lot of classic, vintage, already played games in the not too distant future. I mean, hopefully, things can go ahead as planned, but I just don't know how they're going to be able to do that. You know, what team was it yesterday or the day before that was it Kansas or Kansas maybe, or one of those teams went in quarantine their whole football team.
Did they?
Yeah, because of an outbreak.
Wow.
So
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised by it, but I didn't see that.
I can't remember exactly what team it was. PGP said the labs are backed up. A bunch of test results reported last night. Numbers may jump today. Yeah, hey, I get that too. You know, I mean, the more people you're going to test, the more, obviously, more. You know, I don't know how many labs we have here that do that kind of thing, but I can't imagine they're probably getting slammed right now.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
You know, so Whitney said, nope, that's all his daddy. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I tell you, talking about labs and things like that, did you see over the weekend where some of your big box stores have come out and said they were going to relax the whole mask issue with customers because of confrontations between customers and their employees?
No, I'm not surprised by that, but I did not see that.
Let me say this, good, bad, or indifferent as far as what anybody's opinion is on masks. You know, when it comes to having to back off of a policy because you're worried about your employees getting, physically assaulted, that tells me people have some pretty strong feelings about masks. Good, bad, or one way or the other is what I'm saying. I mean Walmart, Target.
I wear mine.
Walgreens, CVS. I mean, several big box stores. I'm not talking about. I'm talking about corporate. Came out and said this. So hey, I wear mine. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to lie to you. It took me a few times of getting used to wearing it, but now, I mean, I'm just used to jumping out of the truck and throwing it on, and it's kind of like jumping in and putting your seatbelt on. It's just kind of like one of those things you do.
Yeah.
So.
I watched a good bit of baseball over the weekend, and it's wild watching the baseball games with no fans there.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that. Is it? I mean, to me, that would be okay. I have passed by wrestling on Monday nights, and I don't watch wrestling anymore. I quit watching wrestling back when Steve Austin and The Rock and all of them left. So, I mean, it's kind of like that. I mean, without the fans there, I mean, can you still get hyped up about it, or it's just a different game, isn't it?
It's different. I can tell you this, and of course, you can't have what would it be without having a conspiracy theory attached to it?
It wouldn't be anything.
Most people know this. The baseball and professional that the major leagues use is different than the baseball that you use in college and certainly in high school. It doesn't have the seams raised on it. It is basically a perfect sphere. And it is wound tight, and they are designed to travel a long ways for entertainment purposes. I mean, the baseball years ago, they got tired of the 2-1 games, the 3-2 games.
Sure.
They want to see the ball leave the park. Well, that in combination with the guys putting the needle in the arm, the ball started leaving the park with regularity. And I'm telling you, this year, with no fans in, I think they had the balls wound extra tight. I mean, there were 15 home runs hit this weekend that went over 400 feet.
Wow.
And it's just, Tyler Joyner, one of our guys here, he will tell you, he's in the Double-A with the Orioles. He will tell you, oftentimes the Baltimore Orioles will send down their batting practice balls to their Double-A team to use.
Sure.
He said within 5 swings, you can tell if they've got a new shipment of big league balls.
Really?
Because they just, boom.
Wow.
They jump.
Wow.
But watching the games this weekend, I think to add some excitement to it, they've got an extra tight batch of baseballs out there because they're flying out of the park. I mean, flying.
Wow. Well, I mean,
the Braves hit 5 last night, I think. The Riley guy hit one 456 or 466.
Yes, we can, Johnny Sims. Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Ruth Sims.
Happy birthday, Ruth.
Yes, sir. We certainly can. Yeah. Miss Carol says that hockey, let's see, will play all games in Canada. Players will be kept in a bubble.
That's what the basketball league's doing.
Yeah. Yeah. We were talking just before we went live about the revenue taken in, and we were specifically talking about Auburn, but this, I think, holds true for
it does.
All the universities. Talk a little bit about what you were saying there. It was kind of eye-opening, really.
Well, last year, Auburn Athletics generated $152 million. That's ticket sales, merchandise, concessions, the whole 9 yards. TV money, bowl money, whatever. That's part of that 152 is $54 million that the SEC schools split equally. To make that $152 million, it took $150 million. So in a roundabout way, they netted about $2 million. And 40% of that 152 comes from ticket sales and the game day receipts. So if you start doing some quick math, and if games aren't played, it gets tight quickly.
Real quick.
So there is, when you see these guys say, we're playing, I get it. You almost have to, because if you don't play, then bankruptcy is almost a certainty. Because a lot of those expenses, the $150 million that it costs to operate, are fixed expenses. A lot of them aren't, but a lot of them are. Whether it's salaries, whether it's the scholarships themselves, feeding the kid, housing the kids, whatever it is, it's a lot of big numbers being thrown around.
And by the time that happens, we're going to see a lot of changes within the next year or two, are we not?
Say that
so we're going to see a lot of changes in the next year or two.
A lot.
I mean, and I'm not necessarily talking about just this year. I mean the snowball effect coming from this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, how about Richie Evans? He wants to see a basketball goal set up soon on a broadcast and see if DJ can still light it up.
I can answer that for you without having to go through the trouble of setting it up, and that's a no.
Well, I mean,
you used to have a lot of fun playing basketball, Richie, back in the day.
Yeah. Coach Schoolsby said that the Braves hit so many home runs last night, the cardboard cutouts left early.
I'll tell you, they were flying out. One of the things about the baseball season I'm actually excited about, I love to watch baseball, by the way, whether people are there or not there, I guess, but it's a 60-game schedule to determine who makes the playoffs. When it's 162 games, in theory, you might could take a day off and it may not come back to bite you. With 60 games, they all count, and I think you're going to see everybody's best effort every time out. And it's going to be real exciting because everybody is really going to be in the race to the very end. With only being 60 games, I think it's going to be pretty exciting to watch it.
Well, it's how long do you think? I mean, when are you looking at the season being over?
They'll start the playoffs in September or in October, end of September, October.
60 games.
60 games.
And they normally play
162.
Yeah. So they're off 102 games.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow. Well, hey, I mean, here's the thing. I think that if anything, some news that I did see over the week, I say news, things reported by several different outlets, it would appear that there may be some announcement on some sort of treatment for this thing coming out pretty soon.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I don't know what that encompasses or entails. I'm just not sure, but it does seem like that there may be something on the horizon from a lot of different news sources for sure.
I want to brag on one of our people real quick.
Absolutely.
And
Good morning, Christy Hazelwood.
It's not him by himself, but Greg Dawkins started this Murder Creek softball several years ago. And it was a vision. He thought, a travel ball became, something that kids wanted to participate in just to get a little more competitive atmosphere outside of rec league. A lot of kids did both, but, they wanted to kind of scratch that itch and go see what was out there. Well, Greg thought, hey, instead of all these kids going in all these different directions, playing on these travel ball teams, let's get our local girls and make our own travel ball team and go play. And, when you're starting off on that bottom rung, there are some pretty tough lessons that you have to go through. And we took our lumps and bruises in those early days. But this thing is turned in like to a high quality softball league. It's made up of girls from Miller, Neal, Flomaton, and Jay. And they are really, really good. They not only had the rec season here at the Y, they then put together 2 equal all-star teams in the 18U division and went off and played. One of our teams won the World Series over the weekend. The other team finished third. And it's a testament to Greg. And Greg will be the first to tell you, his coaches, Damian Jackson is one of them. Doug Sims is one of them. The Wyatt boys are involved. I mean, they got a ton of coaches that help out. Dubose is in there with them. But he has really built a quality first-class program with this Murder Creek softball.
He has.
That's first class.
And I'll tell you this, I was glad that if you remember, I think around the first year of Drive Time, I think when he started to kick it off, he came in and sat down with us and talked about it and that kind of thing. And maybe they had it going for a year or something. Yeah. I'm not real sure.
He did.
But he's done a great job.
I'm telling you, and if you put those 2 teams together, if you took the best 9 out of those 2 teams, I'm telling you, within a 100-mile radius, you could go play any high school team you wanted, and you'd be okay. You'd be okay.
You'd be fine.
You'd be fine.
Yeah.
But they're having another little tryout tonight to start their fall season up. There's 5:30, 6:30, and 7:30, depending on your age grouping. But he has put a lot into that, and to see it become what it has is a testament to him and all the coaches. And the girls.
And while we're on that subject, and you can speak on this probably as good as anybody, maybe better than anybody. Talk about the time and the effort and the behind the scenes time when you have like Greg, when you have a full-time job, like you, when you have a full-time job, when you have a family, when you have responsibilities and all this stuff, but yet you find a way to make all that happen. Talk a little bit about that.
What turns into 2 full-time jobs is what it is. It's full-time. Greg will get off work today at 5 o'clock. He'll go straight to the Y complex, and he'll be there until 9 o'clock tonight.
Good morning, Sarge.
Maybe 10 o'clock tonight. Doing this and doing that. The organization side of it, but the paperwork that goes in with it, having to have your insurance in place, the administrative stuff is somewhat time consuming.
Yes.
And of course, you have to get equipment. You have to make sure that travel is in place.
Yes.
There's a lot of moving parts to it. He does it because he loves it.
Right.
The same reason I do it. I love it.
Right.
I love being out there with the kids, love the games. I love what it does for the kids in terms of development. But he has made a monster in this Murder Creek softball.
Yeah, and it seems like just from the posts that I see, that it gets bigger.
It's getting
and bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah, it's I can't get over the quality of it. I mean, if you haven't watched good girls softball recently, find out where Murder Creek's playing, and you're guaranteed to see good softball.
Sure.
They are good.
Good morning, Miss Gail. Be careful headed to Milton this morning. No doubt.
And I'm telling you, there's good days ahead for WSNL and Terra Miller softball. Good days ahead. A lot of these players, probably the nucleus of them, are all 16 and under, like 15, 16 years of age.
So they're going to get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. On that note, I got a message from someone last night that I need to remind me about. I need to get with you off the air. I mean, nothing. Talking about something to do with upcoming sports.
Okay.
Let's just say that. So, there she is. Good morning, Elizabeth Godwin Bush.
Good morning, Elizabeth.
How are you this morning? Chef Adam's in. I'll tell you what, man. I just got to say this again. I think I've watched that video at least 30 times.
I've watched it 5, and I've watched it back to back to back. And I tell you, I love the way he lays the fillets away, so they don't splash. The fillets away,
man. I mean, I've just got to tell you, it is. I mean, it. You know, good morning, Miss Sandy Kirkland. It is just I mean, it makes you look at that and go, man,
lays away.
I got to have some of that. Number one, number two, I've known, Adam all my life, and of course, and had a lot of things. The best part about Chef Adam is when you just tell him, oh man, just whip something up.
Well, you think I'm kidding. You could have taken the sauce for the Connecticut sausage. You could have poured it in this cup, and I'd drink it.
I don't have any doubt.
I'd drink it.
I have no doubt.
Out of a cup.
I have no doubt. But he, I'm just telling you that people don't know in a video like that, honestly, I think will help to shine light on someone like Chef Adam that does what he does and can, people that say you can't get that type of meal in Bruton, I beg to differ.
Ooh.
I mean, so, and again, hats off to Steve Layton. What a well done video.
Yeah, it's produced professionally.
Hey, I'm telling you, I text Steve and told Steve when I saw the video, great job. I mean, it is done well, looks great, sounds great. I just if they keep putting out videos like that, it'll be hard to ask the question, what does Bruton have to offer? You know what I mean? Because man, I'm just telling you that was something. And that's something that most places, and I'll be honest with you, they have to bring an outside company in to do something like that.
Oh yeah,
and so we're very fortunate again.
Absolutely.
To have something like that here in Bruton, and good people, shining light on good people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. Chef Adam said huge response. Hey, I don't doubt that. He also said go Cubbies. So there you go. Tammy McBrayer said football practice officially starts today. Timmy Wiggins, that's right. They don't call him chef for nothing. That's for sure. Allison Terrell, future is bright for softball in our area. I agree with that. Connie B says more cooking show joy coming up. I can't wait. I'm gonna tell you, no pressure, Steve, but you got to step your game. You got to step it up a notch to outdo that first one.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the subject matter. I mean, just the way it was done. I mean, man, like you said, when you roll the fillet out there like that. I mean,
away from the body.
Away from the
body.
I mean, that was something.
I love that.
I did too. That was something. It really was. Good morning, Dee Dee Tinsley. You have a blessed and safe day as well. It done exactly what it was supposed to with me, because I wanted a steak bad. It was just they were closed when I saw it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I said, I'm not lying. I watched it probably 10 times in a row just because I was like, and I'm into video and all that kind of stuff, but I was just sitting there just amazed at how well that video came off and looked and not amazed at Steve. Steve's a professional and does it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying great subject matter, great video, the way it was done, and it puts our city out there for a lot of people to see and say, maybe we need to go to Camp 31 and check that out. So I don't know. And Chef Adam answer his question. I know they had the upstairs thing starting, it seemed like, to take off on Thursday nights before the virus thing kind of got, shut things down. Do you know if they have started that back up or thinking about starting that back up, or have you heard anybody say?
I haven't heard anybody say, but I really think if all this mess could clear out, they would have a little hook there. That's a nice area that's been developed upstairs at Camp 31 above the Hourglass little banquet room. And if this mess will get out to where we can congregate, in a healthy way and be safe, they've got something there.
No doubt. Let's see. Miss Carol says she sent her out-of-town relatives the video. They can't wait to make a road trip for that fish. I mean, hey, Ashley Morris has got a great point. Great idea. Chef Adam ought to set up in the Hourglass and do a cooking class.
Do you know how much fun that would be?
I would go.
With Chef Adam? I mean, that would be...
I would go.
That would be a lot of fun.
It would be a lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun.
And I would love to be there.
I would go.
I would too.
I
would too. And I'm going to tell you something.
And he's got the right demeanor for it and the personality.
Sure,
that would be...
Listen, you don't think
Chef Adam, you need to hook that up.
You don't think that guy couldn't carry a class for an hour and a half, too? I promise you he could. Everybody leave here and be going out and buying Bunsen burners. I mean, think about it. You set up a burner or two, do those little cooking things with. It's going to be hard to go in the kitchen in there. So you got to set it up, set something. And people like me, I'd be like, well, I didn't think about using the damn oven at home or the stove at home. I'd go buy the same thing he had.
I wonder if he has it set up down there to where he could have a class like that.
Oh, I think that now he's the expert, but I would think that there would be a way to make that happen in the Hourglass, where you could bring people in. And I'm gonna tell you this. I think it'd be hugely successful.
I do too. I really do. That excites me. That would be cool.
Yes.
People would enjoy that, and he would be the perfect person for it.
Yes. Adam says, maybe I missed the comment. Adam says, Adam said that hopefully it will start back soon. I think it's a great concept, the City View thing, and I'll but I'll tell you this, I'm gonna. When you see Chef Adam, I'm going to do the same thing. We need to. I don't want to say push him. That's a bad word, but we need to really encourage him. He ought to look at that.
I think I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Oh,
I think it'd be one of those deals. You'd have to get reserved. I mean, you may not make the first class. It'd fill up so quick.
I don't know. I think you're correct.
I don't know what the magic number is that he could handle at one time. But there would be, I would think, a waiting list to get
There's people right here already. I'd go. I would go.
Yeah.
Sarge, I don't cook, and I would go.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. You may not cook, but after going to something like that, it may inspire you to find something you like and want to cook.
That would be a good time.
It would.
Adam and Larry need to make that happen.
You know what? I think I may stop by there and see them.
That would be good.
Not that I can tell them what to do. That's their place.
That'd be good.
But tell them that we would lend any hand we could to help them promote it, that kind of thing, and get it out there.
There's a similar experience at Wind Creek, is there not?
Yeah. Yes.
So yeah.
And let me say this: it is one of those that you have to get reservations for.
Yeah.
So I know good and well. If it was a once a month thing or if it was a twice a month thing, I think people would enjoy it. I think they would look forward to it. And I just think it's a winner.
I'm going to tell you, I would go. There's This is great. I love people helping people, coming out there. I love it. Could you imagine signing up for the cheesecake class?
Hey, I'm not sure he would be. Let me say this.
Hey,
I don't know if he'd be willing to give that recipe away.
I'm just telling you.
You know,
that would be. Adam needs to look into this.
Look at this. He said it would take some planning, but he'll work on it. Hey, well, anything that myself or DJ can do to help implement that, Chef Adam, you let us know. And,
that would be, that'd be fun.
Ashley said that Adam, you already have a full class already. She gets a free lesson for this idea. Hey, Ashley's always looking to work that angle, isn't she?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm excited about this. This is gonna. If this comes about, this would be another nice little addition of something to do in this town.
Elisa said that she has asked Adam to do that down there, in I guess that'd be Gulf Shores. Well, so I think it'd be great. I really do.
The food part of it would obviously be awesome, but just having Adam lead the class would be to be in that setting with Adam would be great.
So Lisa Dendel said, do it as a demo, let the students taste the food. Aaron Brown said her husband said he would love for her to go.
Yeah.
And so that's right, Sarge. I mean, Wind Creek stays booked.
Yeah.
I mean, they do. And, I think, like Tracy Miller says, always a good time. I think if you had cocktails available,
yeah, his would have to be set up a little different than what they have. They have commercial stations for everybody, do they not down there?
I think so.
And
but here's the thing. I would think he'd want to do it different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, I would think he would want to do that in a different manner than that way. But I'll tell you this. I think that there are plenty of people that would sign up. I mean, we got 15 people right here
already. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I would, I'd go just because I enjoy. Let me say this: I've seen and got lessons from Chef Adam on cooking different things. But I'd go because you never know what he's fixing to whip up either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I called him one year, a couple of years ago, and said. It was an occasion for something, and I said, well, I'll tell you what it was. It was Jessica's birthday. And I said, listen, I want you to whip up. She likes a rare filet. Mm-hmm. I said, I want you to whip up the rarest filet you can whip up and anything else to go along with it and have it delivered over to Neal High School at the library over there. And I will never forget her sending me a picture of that plate of food, and holy crap-a-moly.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about a plate of food and grill mark. It looked like somebody had painted the steak.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Literally.
Yeah.
I mean, like they just took a black marker
and
put grill marks on it. But I think it's a great idea. I really do.
I hope that happens.
Yeah.
I hope that happens.
Yes. Ashley said, I've always said favors are more valuable than money. Hey.
Something to that.
I've said it a million times. It's not what you know, it's who you know. And we know Chef Adam, and Chef Adam knows us. So hopefully we get Chef Adam to do that. That'd be a lot of fun. And I think, let me say this too, I think that he can charge a decent price, and it'd be worth every penny.
Every penny.
You know what I'm saying?
Every penny.
I mean, if it was, I don't know what Wind Creek charges for theirs. I can't tell you, but they don't have Chef Adam teaching it.
No, they don't have Chef Adam teaching it.
I mean, that's the hook. That's the hook. That's just it. So, we would have Chef Adam teaching this one, and I think that just goes. That's an added value, added benefit.
That would be too much fun. I'm playing it in my head right now. That would be too much fun.
Jesse James said, while we're making our Chef Adam wish list, sushi night.
Well, there you go.
I miss Adam sushi. Yes. Adam sushi is fantastic. If you've never had any, I don't think you're a sushi fan, are you?
Yeah, I like sushi.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I love sushi. I think it would be fantastic. So we wished Ruth Sims a happy birthday earlier. Another BMP family member and in from time to time on drive time, but definitely in during sporting season. Patrick Glass
Yes, sir.
is
Happy birthday, Patrick.
has a birthday today, and
Happy birthday!
let's see who else here. Guess who else has a birthday today? Young lady from Bruton, Alabama, Miss Cassie Manning.
Happy birthday, Cassie.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Cassie. So, some birthdays over the weekend, of course. Jenny Gray's sister, Courtney. You ever met? Do you know Courtney Crane?
I do. Happy
Courtney had a
birthday.
birthday over the weekend. Bryce Egerton had a
Oh, yeah.
birthday over the
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
Happy birthday, Bryce.
Let's see. Summer LaDuca had a
Yep.
birthday over the weekend.
Yep.
Crystal Clemens had a birthday over the weekend. Lucretia Hayes had a birthday. Bunch of birthdays over the weekend. Jenny Garner had one. Let's see. So, pardon me. A lot of birthdays over the weekend, and I don't know if you've got the tie tables or the obits over there or not, but if you do, now's the time.
Don't
If you have any poo, throw it now.
don't have the tide tables.
Oh man. Let's see here. What else is going on here? So go ahead.
We had our community lost a good friend over the weekend, and I don't know if you're aware of it or not.
Maybe I'm not.
Garland Chadron.
I did
Mr.
not
Garland.
know that. I graduated with Chad.
Yeah. Fine family, good man. You know,
Man.
so active with TR Miller Athletics for years and years.
He was the PA announcer for
years.
For years. Was he after Spike?
Don't get me to line.
I think he was after Spike
Don't get me to
Or-
line.
or-
I just remember he did it for a long time.
and had a great voice
Oh
for it.
yeah, he was a good man.
I can hear him right now saying, "Welcome to Bruton Municipal Stadium."
I can remember for some reason he would make trips. I can't remember if it was business or if it was family or what it was, but he would make business into Illinois, and he did a lot of business with Hayes Martin back in the day.
Yes.
He'd bring back those big jumbo boiled peanuts to Hayes, and of course Hayes would disperse them. You know, it was so many that Hayes couldn't have all of them, so he would. I remember that. But Mr. Garner was a fine man.
He was a fine man.
Certainly, thoughts and prayers were going to be with their family in the days to come. That's tough.
Absolutely. That's right. Holly Halsey. She had a birthday over the weekend.
She did.
Happy birthday!
I knew that. I even wished her a happy birthday. I don't know why it didn't pop up in my feed there, but yeah, that's tough, and I hate to hear that. You know, Garland, they were. I don't know that they had they lived in Bruton for a while. I mean, I'm saying I don't know that Garland and them still lived here. Did they?
I didn't know they had left. But they did.
I know Chad had. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't know. I didn't know if they had or not. But let me ask you a question. What in the world have you ever been to Disney World?
Yes.
Okay. So any of y'all out there that's been to Disney World, y'all can probably understand this, or maybe can't understand this next thing. I know I can't. A woman from Georgia was caught with a diaper bag full of guns at Disney World.
Why?
According to authorities, this woman was caught with the contraband by a security guard while trying to enter Epcot. In her possession, she had a 9mm, a .45, and a plastic bag containing marijuana. She was at the park with her 2 young kids and an adult male companion. They do not give a reason for why she had these things. I mean, what would you be trying to carry that kind of stuff in the park for, unless you had some sort of ill will? I mean, I don't get it. I mean,
You're going to the Magic Kingdom
the happiest place on earth.
with firepower,
Yeah.
wanting to do bad. What is wrong with these people?
I'm just telling you. And that's and that Johnny Sims, thank you. Man, Miss Carol texted us and said, don't ever mention her name on this show again. I just mentioned it.
About
Regis.
did I do that?
Man, I don't know that we've talked about Regis on here except one other time when we talked about that particular show coming to Bruton, and that's been, what, 2 years ago?
I'm gonna tell you something.
And all of a sudden, bam!
When I saw the post that Regis had cashed in, I couldn't help but feel a little responsible for it, for mentioning him on this show. So immediately, I swear to you, this is what went through my mind. Do you remember on Ghostbusters when one of them up on top of the building said, "Clear your mind, don't think about anything"?
Yes.
All of a sudden, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man came into my. That's all I could think about. That's all I could think about was the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I said, "What have I done?"
I mean, it's crazy that we say it all the time, but it's the truth. It all runs through the dirty 30. I mean,
I don't know why. I don't know how, but it does, and it has for years.
you know, I don't know. I'm telling you, it's crazy, but that was crazy.
That was crazy.
I've not heard.
I didn't know he was sick.
I was about to say, I've not heard he was sick. I've not heard it was anything. I don't know if it was sudden. I'm just not sure. Sarge, you did make the comment a while ago about, no, that's not the Colonial. Yes, it is. So, what better to sit up here in front of than a old school pick? So, Cotty B must have been Mickey's plug. Well, maybe it was for Mickey, except I don't know what the guns were for. But I don't think that guns and, trying to go into Epcot Center or anywhere for that matter in Disney World, I don't know how well that's going to work out for you. I don't know if you've been lately, but even before they were, doing screenings and temperature checks and stuff, you still had to go through those metal detectors, and they went through your bags and all this stuff. I can't imagine what part of a good idea that I thought that guy or that woman thought was good. I just don't.
Why would you want to go in the Magic Kingdom and cause trouble?
I don't. Ashley said apparently she was serious about social distancing. More serious than most we know.
Back it up.
Yeah.
Back at 6 feet.
Listen, I'm not waiting 2 hours to get on this ride. Get back. I'm right. Chevy Chase at Wally World.
Hey, he took some hardware in. It's happened.
First one here.
First one
here.
It's happened.
Oh, John Candy. I'm going to tell you, man, that's somebody that gone too soon. He left us too soon. He had many, many more movies to make.
He was a funny guy.
He was a funny guy. What's your favorite John Candy movie?
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck is hilarious.
I like Uncle Buck.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I got to say, I did like Stripes.
Oh, he was good. Yeah, he was good in everything that he did. Yeah, Stripes was good.
Stripes was good.
That's a great movie.
That's a great movie. It is. So, yeah. Like I said, you just don't get to watch movies like that anymore. But anyway, what else was going on last week while you were out and about?
You were talking about, this was a couple of weeks ago, about how this COVID-19 quite possibly is going to make movie theaters go away.
I believe it will.
Well, and I don't know if this was legitimate or not, but I saw on Facebook, so I assume it has to be true, that you can rent a theater for $100. You can rent the entire theater, is what the write-up said, for $100.
I think that.
Did you see that?
I did, and I think that is true. I think you definitely can do that. I saw where, Chef Adam said the weed for ride enhancement. Steve Layton said no line for that ride. You're right, and she might have forgot they were in the diaper bag. Well, that's a great point, Sarge. But I'll completely. What were you saying? I've got to read.
You could rent a movie theater for $100.
So I think that these theaters have started to realize that a lot of these companies are looking to start releasing their movies to platforms that, rent, or, you can pay whatever, $15 to watch it, buy it, what have you. And I truly think, if that's not an indication to you that for $100 you can rent a theater, if that's not a great indicator that the days of the theater are over with, I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong indicator.
And I hate to say that because I hate to see any business going out of business. For sure. The Great Outdoors, another great movie,
That was a great movie.
Lisa, for sure. Planes, Trains, Automobile, another great movie, Wanda Green. Watch Summer Rental this weekend. There you go. Chevy's gun was a Magnum PI. Yeah, maybe the guns belong to the baby. That's right. That may be the case. Yeah, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, great movie. Great movie. Those aren't pillows. That's a fact. So, but yeah, my question is, what would you want to do with a theater if you rented it for $100? What's the point?
I don't know. When I saw it, I didn't see I just maybe check it off the bucket list. Hey, man, I got a movie theater, $100.
Yeah, I guess for that.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess I'm kind of like, when you sit at the house and watch it and not have to put on anything. Get dressed up.
Yeah.
What's the point? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, they had the Wahoo's Stadium on Airbnb for the night for $1,000. The whole stadium. Heather Nelson.
Wait a minute.
Sims,
Say
good morning
that
to
again.
you.
You could get the Wahoo.
Sarge, you said they had the Wahoo Stadium on Airbnb for the night for $1,000. The whole stadium. That's pretty interesting.
Yes, that's very interesting.
That's thinking outside the box.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
You ever been down there?
Oh yeah,
That's a beautiful place.
it is. It really is. Beautiful scenery.
Yeah.
The without a doubt. Melanie says, not I'm speaking for the lady, but maybe she has a concealed carry permit and forgot she had them because they're always there. As for the wacky weed, she could have a medical reason for it, but she should not be combining it with the weapons. That's for sure. Yeah, no doubt. We really were thinking about doing that for Braxton's birthday. Stadiums are not going anywhere. No, stadiums aren't going anywhere. I'm not sure that the guy. Let me say this: we have reached an insane time when you get guaranteed $385 million to play a sport. Have we not?
Yeah, that's a little heavy.
How long will that last? Will they ever fulfill that contract after what's going on right now? Their revenue.
I wouldn't think so.
Their revenue has got to be tanking as fast as it can be.
And there's just so many other. There's so much more unrest with sponsorships and the social climate and the different things that are going on, and people getting on this side or that side of the fence with it. And I don't know. It's I think the athletic scene's going to get turned upside down.
Oh, I do too. Christy Davis says most action movies will always be better in a theater. I agree with that. It's just that I just don't. I don't know how many people are going to go to it anymore. So let's see here. Kathy Tolan says, have a drive time show party edition on a big screen. Why in theater?
Why rent?
Yeah, why rent a theater?
Why rent theater?
Yeah, I agree. We just say, hey,
$100.
yeah,
$100.
we're going to take over for $100. So, I think that'd be a good time. I wonder what movie. I'd say Porky's.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah,
That would be a good
I think Porky's would be a great movie to feature that night. What do you think?
That'd be a great one.
Porky's. I mean, I think that works.
I watched you Friday with Mr. Knight.
Yes.
I was impressed with Mr. Knight. Whether you agreed with everything he said or not, he was kind of
He put it out there.
He put it out there. I mean, he seemed pretty. He was.
He put it out there, and I, listen, just like I had some messages and things from people, and just like with Dr. Varner, they came in to sit down and give out information and put out information. My opinions or what have you at that point in time, that wasn't a time for that. I mean, it was just a time to let them, try to talk to parents and reassure parents about how things are going to go and, hopefully how things are going to go. Obviously, it's a fluid situation. I will say this, and he made it kind of clear they had a lot more priorities, bigger priorities right now than the uniform issue. I don't know if you saw that part of it or not, but and look, let me say this. I mean, he wasn't in any way being combative about it. He was just saying, with all the uncertainty of what's going on, that was kind of not up on the top of the list right now of things to try to do,
Well, I've not been around Mr. Knight much. I certainly knew who he was and what he did, but he didn't haul around. I mean, he kind of put it out there that they have a plan and that's what they're going to do. And like I said, whether you agree with all of his bullet points or not, or directives, they have an idea of what they want to do and how they're going to go about doing it. And to me, that was somewhat impressive.
It was. And he did he did a great job. And, one thing I did appreciate from him was, just like with Dr. Varner, I mean, he didn't have any idea what questions he was going to be asked.
Yeah.
He didn't know what was going to come up. And, he talked about the different things and the different schools, versus Bruton City where we have, the kindergarten, elementary, middle, and high school. He has all that
10
with
schools.
Yeah. So a lot more moving parts of that whole thing. And, and to make that work and all that. So, I was impressed with things he had to say and how forthcoming he was. Cause like you said, he didn't hold back.
Yeah. He put it out there.
And I'll tell you what was I say striking is a bad word, but what struck me was the differences between what Bruton City and what the county, kind of the mindset. It seemed to be a little different. We talked about how, and you probably heard this, we talked about how you're going to let people know, that when a kid has come to school and exposed others or teachers or faculty or what have you, we talked a little bit about that kind of thing. And I told him that I thought that when W.S. Neal High School, Coach Andrew Williams made that post about an athlete, of course, he didn't name names or anything like that, and so nothing was violated in that respect. I told him I thought that was a fantastic thing that they did because, they didn't run from it. They put it out to the public to let people know. Mm-hmm. And he said that he wanted to be as transparent as he possibly could be, and I thought that was fantastic. And I'm saying that to say this, kind of a stark contrast with Dr. Varner. Dr. Varner said their kind of policy would kind of be just to kind of take it as it comes, and I'm not saying his policy's wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to pit the two against each other. It's not my point. My point is just the differences between the two. He said that chances are there probably wouldn't be Facebook posts made about that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So, definitely differences in them, but a lot of similarities as well, of course, with the cleaning and the things that they're going to be required to do. The question that and of course, we didn't get into sports. John was only here for about an hour, so we didn't get into the sports side of it. But the question I asked both of them is, how are you going to socially distance, keep kids away from each other, keep the younger kids, with masks on, those type of things. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. You know, have you seen the post? I saw where Connie B said the PE teacher lineup is gold in Porky's.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Gold, no doubt. Sarge, you said she was really impressed with him as well. I'm telling you, you know.
When you come in here and you sit down and you don't have a script, you're not prepped, you know, it takes a little bit to walk through the door. And the way he handled himself, I was impressed with him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and I'll say this too. He said, and he made the point, if you, reach out to the school board member, reach out to him, you know, to discuss any of the issues that we talked about. You know, he said that, you know, he's brought the uniform issue has come up in the past, and you know they've talked about that. And that was just one of many issues that he talked about that have come up and that kind of thing. So, you know, we talked about the school bus, you know, drivers, and you know and one of the big stark differences between he and Dr. Varner's opinion was Dr. Varner didn't seem to think there is a teacher shortage, and John Knott 1,000% believes there is a teacher shortage.
I believe there's going to be a teacher shortage.
Yes,
I don't believe there's any way around that.
He said substitute,
Yeah.
regular teacher. He absolutely believes there's a teacher shortage. Now, listen, again, I'm not saying all this to try to pit the two against each other. That's not the point.
You're two different systems.
Sure.
I mean, I think there's some of the schools in the county, they go up until start date in most years before some of those teaching positions are filled.
That's a fact.
So the pool of teachers you're pulling from is going to be a little different. But yeah, I think in the county system, I think there's going to be a teacher shortage.
I mean, I think. Well, let me say this: when the superintendent's saying it is, I think that it speaks volumes. I also want to say this, and you know, want to give our well wishes and support to Sandra Reed. Sandra Reed is the new assistant superintendent of Escambia County School System.
I did not know that. Well deserved.
Well deserved.
She's
well deserved.
She's first class.
First class. Very knowledgeable. Been doing it a long time. Come from education.
A strong school system just got stronger.
It absolutely did. And
good move.
You know, I can tell you, she is one of those type of leaders that she's going to get the best out of everybody.
Yep.
And you know, I think that I think that was a great move on their part for sure. So congratulations to Sandra Reed on that, and looking forward to seeing big things out of the school system over there. Of course, you know, we say over there, we talk about Neal just because Neal is in our area, you know, but, you know, obviously you got Flowington, you got McCall, you know, Escambia County.
Oh, there's a great, Huxford's a great school.
Sure. I mean, you know, it's a lot of great things going good there. So, good morning, Kimberly Dawn. PGP says with the number of uncertified people hired, how can there not be a teacher shortage? I'm not sure about that, PGP. Like I said, I didn't have DJ here to. DJ's interviewing skills are much better than mine. Okay, so I didn't have DJ here to ask some of those hard hitting questions. But you know, that being said, I will say this. I agree, Sherry Weaver. She is awesome. I think with Sandra in that position, helping to facilitate things and work things, I do think that our community, the Neal community, as a whole, will have someone that they can talk to. Not that they haven't, okay, because Miss Drew was a great assistant superintendent as well. I'm just saying, Sandra is, from here, and people know Sandra, and obviously we know Frank, and Frank is as good as gold, and I say that with some sort of a pun there, just because of all the all the corn he busted people sitting on over the years. But great family, good people, and I think she'll do a tremendous job for sure. Let's see. Sarge says we're trying to get a huge amount of disinfectant spray, paper towels, and spray bottles from Bruton Strong to help with the cleaning problem. A big part is going to be from a bushel and peck. A big part is going to be from a bushel and peck produce. Well, there you go. Now, I'm asking out of ignorance, who is bushel and peck produce?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. So look, County B says, right. Sanders, classmate, class of 83.
Class of 83.
So doing big things over there. He was impressive. I mean, as far as, answering and things that he talked about and, things they want to do. And I'm anxious to see how all this gets going. I don't remember exactly when teachers start back for the county. He said, and I just the date escapes me. And Dr. Varner said as well for the city. I think
Kids start back on the 10th.
Yeah, I think the city is going to. Aren't they doing a staggered starting? I believe that's what Dr. Varner said.
Well, they get their schedules on a staggered. They start back on the 10th, but I think the 7th, 8th, and 9th, they go up there, or 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. The 4 high school classes go up and get their schedules on different days, but the 10th is the start date.
Sure. Well, and that's the thing. I did ask both of them, were the teachers, going to be allowed with that instructional money to take and buy, disinfectant, hand wipes, hand sanitizer, those types of things. And both of them said that money is earmarked for instructional things only. And, they cannot use that money for that type of product.
Not even in an emergency situation.
That's what they said, and I was thinking, I can't understand, and maybe that's something we need to get with Dr. Mackey on, and say, hey, is there not some way that there can be a temporary, like you said, a whatever, to allow our teachers to be able to use that money to buy things to keep them sanitized and try to keep them as safe as they can, and kids as well. I would think right now that'd be a no-brainer, wouldn't you?
Yeah, bushel and peck is what the Milligan children are running up there on Castleberry Road. Okay, thanks for clearing that up.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I've seen Ashley take a picture of them and put it up near the middle school. Okay, thank you. So, yeah, August 3rd is when the teachers go back for the county.
Okay.
I'm not sure on the city. Good morning, Naomi Lindsay. Miss Jackie Gay, there she is. Milligan boys run bushel and peck. So, I know that it's definitely going to be a challenge. That is for sure. So, I'm anxious to see. I'm anxious to see what is going on.
Did I understand that at the county schools and, of course, at Bruton City School, that the students have the choice of the virtual option or the on-class option, or is that just at Bruton City?
No, they do there as well.
Okay.
Yes. They've had that.
What are those numbers looking like? Does anybody know? Or has anybody said?
Dr. Varner said that it was looking more like, now this was, he said, with about a little over 50%, I think, is what he said, of response, that 17-ish% were going to do virtual.
Okay.
But that's just of those that have responded. No hard numbers on that yet.
Okay.
John did not mention, he said there was going to be a bigger percentage this year that took advantage of that. Mm-hmm. But the county schools have had that for a while.
Okay.
He one thing he did mentioned was that they are looking at this year at trying to, and you may have seen me talk about this, bring all of it into one platform versus having a couple of different ones.
Did he say anything, and this would, I think, would impact the county schools more than the city schools in terms of transportation and getting kids to the respective campus? Are there going to be any changes in busing? Are they going to go to full capacity on the buses, or how are they going to handle that, or did he say?
He said it would be just like it has been.
Okay.
And
the holds 46, they're going to put 46 on there.
He mentioned the number 40.
Okay.
So, I would think that I asked him too. I said, what time is the earliest that a kid has to get on a bus out in some of these rural areas?
Oh, yeah.
And, I think he mentioned 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there.
I'd figure 6 o'clock. They'd have to.
Yeah. You think about that. You're riding a bus for 2 hours to get to school. I mean, whew. And then on top of that, everybody gets on a bus, got to have a mask on. And then you got to keep them off of each other. I mean, I don't know about you. Did you ever ride the bus back in the day in school? Just for the sake of riding it?
My house was not in a bus route area.
Sure.
But if you went home with a friend who was, you had to take a note.
Right.
So, yes, I rode the bus a time or two.
Okay, so the only thing I can ever equate bus 6 to Alco, which is where I would ride sometime, is meatballs.
There you go.
Do you remember Miss Shirley that drove bus number 6?
I don't know if I remember her or not.
Let me tell you something. It was nothing for her to pull that bus over behind Hardee's.
Yeah.
And drag somebody off that bus and tear a switch off of a tree and just wear that tail out right there beside that bus.
I remember Miss Carter ran a pretty tight bus.
Miss Shirley, boy. But here's the thing. It was so wild, it had to get real wild.
Yeah.
For her to go down to that, level.
Yeah.
Greg Egger. You remember Greg?
I do.
Greg is...
His sister was in my grade.
Yeah. I don't think Greg is with us anymore. But Greg was a frequent flyer on getting some of those switches. Let me just say that. So, let's see. Jesse James said they must change the instructional supply fund rule. Teachers cannot continue to pay out of pocket for basic need supplies like we do, especially during this time. I agree with that. I wonder if there is a list of state rules that are out the window during the pandemic. Well, and that's a great point. I'm going to get back to that. Did y'all see the Facebook post that used PVC pipe and clear plastic shower curtains to make partitions for school classrooms? I did not. I did not. Connie B, great point. I wish we would do something sensible like adequately fund public education. I mean, my argument to that has always been, if you can pay coaches $10 million a year, how come we can't fund our schools?
Good question.
I mean, it's just one of those things, that should be, that should just be taken care of for sure. Let's see. Yeah, they've had the virtual option for a few years. Dr. Mackey said on TV about 50-50. Yeah, that would have to be statewide. They're requiring families to sit together on buses with masks on. That's what the county's doing.
Okay.
So, not much different than a classroom. And here's the thing, and John Knott brought this up. Look at that. Ashley said when her kids went to Neal, they got on a bus at 6:30, played a role in them transferring to Bruton schools.
I bet.
Is
there? Do they have plenty of bus drivers to handle the? I don't know how many routes they have. There's a bunch of them.
I don't know, but you talking about for this year?
Yeah.
Oh, he said they. I think what you just said a while ago about teachers, I think they have the same thing with bus drivers every year. It's to the last minute.
Yeah.
So, Sarge, you said they rode bus number 6. That's right. Miss Hapholt. I remember Miss Hapholt. For sure. Yeah, please do that, Melanie. I'd love to see that post. And good Lord, I got to reading all this and said I was going to come back to something, and I can't even remember what I was going to come back to. So, oh well, must not have been that important. Yeah, and there you go. That's a great point, and I don't understand why we don't do this. Why wouldn't you push the start of school to 9 o'clock? And the reason I'm saying that, especially in the county system, is just of one of those being that very reason, having to get up that early.
I don't know this to be a fact. I'm assuming this. I'm assuming that parents have to start work at 8.
I would say most, or if you work an 8 to 5 job.
And to go to school, to go to work, they probably need their kids en route before 9. And that would be my thought.
And I'm with you. I guess my point on that is you got some kids that's hard to get out of the bed in the morning.
Oh, I'm with it. I'm just saying, it's one thing if you were 15 or 16, I'd leave you at the house at 9. But if you're 7 or 8, I don't know if that's practical.
But it may not, and it may not be. I do know this. I know in Florida, it goes on.
They start school at 9?
Yeah, several school systems down there do. Several. They also get out earlier.
They start at 9 and get out at
absolutely
2, whatever it is.
They start letting classes, the different grade levels, out at different intervals where they don't have a mass traffic jam.
Wow.
So, say at the elementary school that seems to be, I don't know about the middle or the high, but I know at the elementary school, it seems to be a traffic jam when you're dropping kids off or picking them up, especially. If you had staggered times to pick those kids up, wouldn't you think that would calm a lot of that traffic down?
Yeah, I would, that stands to reason.
So, that's what I'm. Yeah, Sherry Weaver said, no, they need drivers. There are 3 subs for WS Neal routes. The others are just as short. Bus parked in East Route with a sign looking for drivers.
Well, there you go.
Thanks, Greg. Dippin's kids at Gulf Breeze, they start at 9. A lot of school systems in Florida do that. And, locally to us.
Yeah.
So, I it's kind of like a lot of people have said, well, if school doesn't start back, what are we going to do with our kids or what have you? And my thing is we can all do with them what we did in March until now. We've had to do something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not meaning that like confrontation. I don't mean it that way. Yeah. I'm just saying we've had to do something with them. Sherry Weaver made a great point. Some kids won't get home until late. Some already don't get home until 4:30 to 5 o'clock.
Well, there's Allison Terrell with another. She works for the Santa Rosa school system, and they start anywhere from 7 to 9 and dismiss anywhere from 1:30 to 3.
There you go.
Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah. Thank you, Allison. I'm glad we have somebody here that actually going to speak the truth to this. I'm spitballing it, but I knew that was the case just from reading stuff from down there. Let's see. Connie B said, I was in a rural county system in grade school, and we got on the bus at 5:30 a.m.
That's early.
That's early, man.
That's early.
That's early. And you think about that. Now, by the time you get to school, it's amazing that Connie, it just speaks to her intellect that she could learn after being on a school bus for 2.5 hours.
No joke.
You know what I'm saying? Good gracious. I just don't, that's awful. It just is. Not many subs at Bruce City schools either. There are times Jerry has to cover a route when a regular driver is out. Good morning, Cindy Lou. So there you go. I knew that I've seen Bill driving a bus and Jerry driving a bus, and could you see Bill pulling the bus over? And
I'll tell you what, I'm going to get my CDL, and I'm sitting on 5 minors, and I'm a phone call away.
Listen,
I'll be in Evergreen this week.
I'm still waiting on Dr. Mackey's endorsement for you for a substitute. I mean, if you remember, you asked him for an endorsement.
For a glowing endorsement. I want it
you
statewide.
Did, and he indicated, so to speak,
He did.
that he was going to give that
I was
glowing
led
endorsement.
to believe that it was going to be forthcoming, yes.
Yeah, I was
hasn't.
too.
And it hasn't.
And I got to tell you, Dr. Mackey, I'm going to tag him in this video.
You tag him.
I got to tell you, Dr. Mackey, I'm still waiting on the first email from your department that CNN and all them seem to be getting that we don't seem to get. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know why AL.com gets something before we do. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
But let me tell you something. I am reaching out this week to none other, and I think you're going to love this, to the head of the Alabama High School Athletic Association, Steve Savarese, to have him call into this show.
that would be great.
I'm working on it.
I've got a few questions for him.
I figured you did. I'm working on it. Now, let me ask you this. Are you going to, I won't ask that on there.
I'm going to be fair. I would never take advantage of somebody that was good enough to come on and
Certainly.
I'd be fair.
I know that.
Firm but fair.
I understand that. Are you going to ask him what his cut of the FHS is?
Maybe.
Shoot that thing. I mean, I just got to believe that I mean, he's out there trying to get people to understand why it's good to let's all get this done. So I think we're to have him on, don't you?
I do. Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you, Melanie French. Ashley said you could pick up a few hours and weekend trips, DJ, if you had a mind to.
Do it.
Listen, you wouldn't want DJ riding one of them band buses with a, no. I don't think that would work out too well. It would be meatballs. You remember the movie I'm talking about?
Absolutely.
Bill Murray
Absolutely.
is a counselor.
Oh, yeah, I remember it well.
And
Spaz. You wascally wabbit.
are you ready for the summer? Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
that song?
Yeah.
And this kid's just hanging out of every window of that bus. And I mean, that's all I can see. So
Good movie.
great movie. Let's see here. Now, when they say extra sleep on the bus, if I had to ride it that long, there's no doubt. But I'm going to tell you something. It's cold on a cheese wagon and it's hot on a cheese wagon. Now, I do understand from Dr. Varner that they've got some new buses in that actually have some different technologies available.
Oh, yeah?
That's for the city. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure about the county, but I know he spoke of that about the city. Let's see. DJ, if you drive a bus, you get to get in for free. How about that?
Never stopped.
How about that?
What's that?
So if you drive a bus, you get to
That's
get
a
in for
perk.
free. So let's see here. Miss Jackie says elementary school in Texas, where her grandson goes, starts an early shift at 7 and a later shift at 9. It seems to work out well. How about that? Let's see. That's exactly what they do. DJ is president of his fan club. Do you have a fan club?
I do not.
Oh, okay. I don't know where that was coming from.
I do not.
Unless I missed something that was said and I didn't see it. We did talk about eating and lunches and how they're going to handle that. We did talk about that. And, somewhat. And I think that's going to be a lot different this year for kids if it makes it that far. I think it's going to be a lot different.
What's that?
Eating.
Oh, yeah.
Lunches and things. I definitely think it's going to be a lot different than what it has been up to this point. They managed to keep meals going throughout the summer.
Yeah.
And which is a fantastic thing. So I'm definitely glad to see that and hear that. I know that a few years ago we were asked to try to help with some of that at the high school. That seemed to be an issue with kids not having enough to eat. And I think that was a resounding success.
Yeah, it was. A lot of generous contributions came in. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really was. So, let's see. Connie said, except there were bullies that took great fun in harassing kids. Well, yeah, there was bullies on bus number 6 too. I can tell you.
I still can't get over that schools starting shifts like that is a thing.
She was talking about Steve's fan club. Savarese. There you go. I'm sorry, I get it now. Talking about you, the president of Steve Savarese's fan club.
Oh yeah.
So,
yes, I am.
we need to get Steve on and see if we can't get him to. You said you're still amazed at what now? I'm sorry.
Schools starting shifts. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that's a bad thing.
No, I don't know that it is either. I just didn't know that's I didn't know that.
I tend to think that kids may do better with that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. But I do think that they would. I think they'd do better with that. And
I would have still opted for the early shift if it were a choice in Bruton City. I would have been all for starting at 6:30 if it had got me out there at 12.
Oh, really?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, hey, I get it. I probably would have opted for.
So once again, I guess the teachers are the ones that get left holding the bag. They just have to be on campus at 6 and stay till 5.
I'm not sure how that works, DJ. If they, I'm not sure if it's one of those situations where they come in shifts either. I mean, that may be the case where they do come in shifts.
Teachers, I got some bad news and some worse news. Yeah. I'm going to need you here from 6 to 6 to cover all the shifts, and we're not going to pay you an extra nickel.
Not going to pay you any. and that brings up another great point. And I think that, this is something that probably needs to be, I asked John Knott about the administrators that got a raise. Mm-hmm. But the teachers did not.
Did you ask him that?
I did.
What did he say?
Well, he pointed out that to be competitive, that they had done some studies and that their administrators were not on par salary wise with some of the local systems, obviously Bruton being one of them, and some of the other systems around in our part of the state. And he said, to be competitive, they had to, try to do that to be and stay and get competitive. And he said there's still a gap between the two. Mm-hmm. So that's what he said, because I was coming at it from a standpoint of, if we're going to put our teachers, faculty, administration, students, shouldn't these teachers be paid hazard pay for having to go in and do this?
I think that's a solid argument.
I mean, nurses are.
I think it's a solid argument.
Doctors are. They say, well, you're not in that type of thing where you're dealing with that. Yeah, you are. Well, you're going to be dealing with kids all day, every day that pass. Yeah. Here's the big thing. I didn't get to ask this question. It hit me over the weekend. If we make it to flu season, what happens then? Mm-hmm. Because guess what the flu is? The flu is a coronavirus. Mm-hmm. So what happens then? I mean, does all hell break loose? I mean, what happens?
Could be a major mess.
I think it would be. I mean, for sure. So, anyway, there's still hope for us, DJ. Saturday night's Powerball drawing, no winner.
What's it up to now?
$117 million.
Draw it on Wednesday? Is that when they draw it down again?
Drawing, $94.9 million cash payout. So, weekend box office, theaters closed across the country. Funny, we were just talking about that. Let's see here. I always like to look and see what days that we're celebrating today. How about this? Mike Tyson is about to return
I
to
saw
the
that.
ring.
Him and Roy Jones are going to mix it up in a little exhibition.
How about that?
That'll be interesting.
He's facing Roy Jones Jr. on September the 12th in an 8-round exhibition on pay-per-view. The match will take place at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. Tyson is 50-6 with 44 knockouts and has not fought since 2005. 15 years. I mean, I saw him knock a dude out in The Hangover. So,
That'd be interesting.
That'd be like getting on the court with Jordan. I wouldn't care how old Jordan was. I don't want to get on the court with the man.
How old is Tyson? Do we know?
He's got to be. I mean, he was 20. Was he 21
He's
when
probably,
he became
he's
the?
probably 55-ish.
I would think.
So how old is Roy Jones Jr.?
Here, let's just look that up. Let's look here. Roy Jones. Let's see. Roy, I can't type this morning. Jones Jr. Age. Roy Jones is 51 years old.
I didn't know he was that old.
How did you
54.
Tyson's 54.
Just turned 54.
So, that's crazy, man. I wonder how that fight's going to go.
I don't know. That's interesting.
That might be a pay-per-view worth watching.
Contrasting styles.
No doubt. I wonder if Tyson will still come out of that hole.
Well, if you look at upside and downside, Roy Jones Jr. might beat you up. But Mike Tyson might knock you out.
Very quickly.
I mean, I think the downside for Tyson has a high floor, if that makes sense. I think the floor.
But Tyson can knock you out at any
he can hurt you
given time.
I mean, he could hurt you.
Yes.
He could cause bodily harm.
Yeah. No doubt.
That'd be interesting. When are they fighting?
Where?
I said when?
Oh, September the 12th.
September 12th.
Yeah,
Okay.
8-round exhibition in Carson, California. So I'm ready. Miss Carroll said Tyson's doing ads for Shark Week. Don't get bit is the tagline.
That might be something to watch.
Hey, I think it would be. Let's see. So here we go. Day of the year, DJ. Today we celebrate Walk on Stilts Day.
Walk on stilts. There you go.
It's also National Chicken Finger Day.
Okay, I will celebrate that.
I'm all about some of that.
I'm in.
So I'm good with that. Yes.
Kim, I'll be at Mark's.
It's also National Scotch Whiskey Day.
Out.
I'm out on that too. And it's also, this is crazy, Take Your House Plant for a Walk Day.
What if you don't have one?
I guess you don't take it on a walk.
Out on that. I will celebrate the chicken fingers. Glad to know it. See
I mean,
if I can get a flash fry.
They just have to sit around and
Yeah.
look for stuff, don't they? I mean, surely people can't come and hit them with this kind of thing, can they? I mean, am I wrong?
National Walk on Stilts Day.
National Walk on Stilts Day.
Won't be playing that one.
We got to get out of here, man.
Well, it's been a great Monday. Appreciate everybody being in with us. Hope y'all have a great day. Be safe. Be kind. If you have some time to waste tomorrow, get back in here and we'll do it all over again. Y'all have a good one. Love y'all.
She looked at me and this is what she said. Oh, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't go on trees. I got bills to pay, I got mouths to feed. There ain't nothing in this world for free. No, I can't slow down, I can't hold back. Don't you know, I wish I could. No, there ain't no rest for the wicked. Till we close our eyes for good. Not even 15 minutes later I'm still walking down the street when I saw a shadow of a man creep out of sight. And he struck up from behind, he put a gun up to my head, made it clear he wasn't looking for a fight. They give me all you got, I want your money, not your life, but if you try and make a move, I won't think twice. I told him you can have my cash, but first you know I gotta ask what made you